Happening now, our health director is stressing the importance of youth vaccinations ahead of the first county-sponsored clinic for that age group. Plus, all lanes at the U.S.-Canadian border have reopened after nearly 2 years closed due to the pandemic.
Well, the temperatures are going to be up from here, but don't get used to it because winter will make a return. We'll talk about where it's going next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Kids 5 and up are now cleared to get the COVID-19 vaccine here in Chautauqua County and around the nation. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Locally, our health director is touting the importance of getting kids vaccinated as a key component to ending the pandemic. Our Alana Wingate joins us live in the newsroom today with more on what she has to say. Alana?
Justin, Chautauqua County's health director hopes that vaccinating kids against COVID-19 can bring an end to the global pandemic that is about to enter its second year. This week, several mass COVID vaccination clinics for children ages 5 to 11 will take place, administering Pfizer's 2-dose shot that has now emergency use authorization for kids age group. Chautauqua County's health director, Kristen Schuyler, is strongly encouraging parents to consider vaccinating their kids in hopes it'll bring an end to the pandemic. Specifically, she tells us it's a concern about increasing the youth hospitalization in the area.
We definitely have had COVID-19 infections in children, and we have had some hospitalizations. I'm really not able to comment on specific numbers because of our county numbers are so small that you're always want a chance of being able to identify people, and we can't let that happen. I can tell you that thanks to the Delta variant, we have seen an increase in the spread of COVID-19, not just here, but everywhere.
There is still several slots open for the first clinic, which is set to underway on Tuesday afternoon at SUNY JCC. To register, visit chqgov.com and click on the vaccination banner. Live in the newsroom, Alana Wingate, WNY News Now.
A federal appeals court has temporarily blocked the Biden administration's vaccine rules for employers with 100 or more employees. In a brief order, the Fifth Court of Appeals in New Orleans ruled there are constitutional issues with the mandate. The ruling by the 3-judge panel did not indicate whether it would have a nationwide impact or only apply to the states under its jurisdiction. 27 states have sued the Biden administration over its vaccine mandate for businesses with 100 or more employees. The rule released Thursday would require those employees to have employees vaccinated by January 4th of 2022. Now, lawyers for the Biden administration have until 5 o'clock today to respond to the court's stay of the vaccine mandate. And a 46-year-old Falconer man is accused of drinking and driving following a crash at a Route 60 McMobile near the Jamestown area over the weekend. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says that the crash happened Saturday at about 1:30 in the morning. Shane Dampel, deputies say, was found seated behind the wheel. Following an investigation, he's charged with DWI per se, and moved from lane unsafely. He was taken to the Ellicott Police Department in Falconer for processing before he was released with an appearance ticket. Well, the Buffalo Bills had 12 penalties, including 5 personal fouls and 3 turnovers, and still had chances to win on Sunday. Buffalo nevertheless delivered a stinker at Jacksonville with 9-6 shocker that could help refocus a team that's been at odds on their favorite to win in this Super Bowl. The outcome for the Bills was, well, humiliating, humbling, and hopefully a wake-up call for many. Buffalo's main concern was on the offensive side, where it gave up 4 sacks and even more hurdles. Quarterback Josh Allen was harassed early and often. He completed 31 of 47 passes for 264 yards with 2 interceptions and a fumble. Allen hadn't committed a second-half turnover all season until Sunday. Then he coughed up 3 against the Jaguars. and would have had a fourth if it hadn't been ruled his forward progress had been stopped. Allen also led the way on the ground, another issue for Buffalo against one of the league's worst defenses. He scrambled 5 times for 50 yards. Devin Singletary and Zach Moss combined to run 9 times for 22 yards. Moss left that game with a concussion. Buffalo hopes to rebound next weekend against the New York Jets. You can catch that game Sunday at 1 o'clock on CBS. Certainly a lot of sad Bills fans as we start a new week. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comment section down below. We always love to hear from you. It's great to see Mark, good to see Anna and Wendy. Hopefully you're all having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in on the live stream and on channel 716 on Roku as well. Well, certainly it is a warm one when you consider it to be this time of year. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us live now with a first look at that weather forecast. And Dakota, is spring back today? What is happening?
Well, spring is back for a little while, but again, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I would not get used to this because this is November and we all know what comes in November, and I think we're going to get there by the time we go into next week. We'll dive into a little more detail with that a little bit later on, but Chautauqua Lake is looking beautiful out there. 59 degrees right now, right at the waterfront, and it is feeling like, as Justin said, it's feeling like spring out there, and really not a cloud to be found on the satellite and radar composite today, so it's really going to be a mostly sunny day. I think we're going to stay in full sunshine for much of the day today. I think we may see a few high clouds moving in later in the afternoon, but they're high clouds, which means they're not going to cause a problem. 57 was the high yesterday. Did you get out and enjoy the weekend? Because it was absolutely gorgeous. 37 is where we started the day. 73 and 16 are the records for today. So through the afternoon, everybody gets sunshine. It's going to be cooler right at the Lake Erie water, though. 59 right at the Lake Erie waterfront to 65 inland with a southwest wind. Now, we'll keep the warmer temperatures going through much of this week, but, you know, it all changes going into the weekend. We'll talk about where the temperatures and the weather is going with that 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin?
All right. You know, Dakota, that's how it is, right? It always changes, forever changing, and
Yep.
I know what's to come in your forecast, so we'll be talking about it. See you back in 10 minutes. Well, for the first time in nearly 20 months, fully vaccinated Canadians will be able to cross the U.S. border for non-essential travel today. While air travelers have been able to visit the U.S., on Monday, vaccinated Canadians can once again cross along the 5,500-mile land border that separates our two countries. Canada welcomed fully vaccinated Americans back in August, but the U.S. did not reciprocate at that time. While many U.S. hospitality businesses rely on Canadian tourism dollars, the land border reopening may not create an immediate economic boost. That's because Canada is requiring its citizens to present a negative COVID PCR test upon re-entry, which for Canadians can cost up to $300 each. U.S. Congress members, as well as mayors and community leaders from both sides of the border, have urged the Canadian government to drop that requirement. Well, a new law will prohibit used car dealers in New York State from selling vehicles that don't have working airbags. Democratic New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced yesterday she signed the bill into law. It's named after 18-year-old Anthony Armos, a Rockland County resident who died in a crash in 2013 while driving a car without airbags. The state legislature passed that bill back in June. It takes effect in 90 days and will require dealers to give buyers documentation showing the vehicle has an airbag and a readiness indicator light that shows it is functioning. Well, coming up, a lot more to tell you about. A man pleads guilty to fatally injuring a dog. And later, plow companies are booking fast for this winter season. What you need to know to keep your driveways and sidewalks clear. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues on this beautiful day.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
This message was brought to you by the Jamestown Fire Department and the Chautauqua Safety Village.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A Western New York man has pled guilty to fatally injuring a dog last year. The Erie County District Attorney's Office reporting that 43-year-old Brian Klin of Grand Island pled guilty to felony aggravated animal cruelty on Friday. Prosecutors say he admitted to intentionally hitting and kicking a toy poodle in March 2020 at a home on Blades Line Road in the town of Grand Island. The owner of the home returned later in that morning to find their dog deceased in a crate. A narcolepsy determined that the dog died from blunt force trauma. The man faces a minimum of 2 years behind bars when he's scheduled for sentencing in January. Well, after months of negotiations, the House progressives finally agreed to an 11th hour vote on a $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill over the weekend. Melissa Rainey is breaking down what was included in the final measure and what's next.
The long-held-up $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill finally passing the House on Friday.
On this vote, the yeas are 228 and the nays are 206. The motion is adopted.
Meanwhile, the $1.9 trillion economic package remains in limbo.
We had hoped to be able to bring both bills to the floor today.
Moderates pushing back on the larger social safety net plan, citing the need for an official cost estimate from the Congressional Budget Office, a process that could take as long as 2 weeks.
Some members want more clarification or validation of numbers that have been put forth, that it's top line, that it is fully paid for, and we honor that request.
President Biden delaying a trip to Delaware in an effort to get at least one of his major domestic policies across the finish line.
Send the infrastructure bill to my desk. Let's show the world that America's democracy can deliver and propel our economy forward.
I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
Melissa, thank you. Up next, a deadline to vote on the social safety net plan. Moderates giving a statement assuring progressives that the vote will happen no later than the week of November 15th. Well, Cornell University has lifted the evacuation alert involving a bomb threat that campus police received yesterday. According to the university's website, around 2 o'clock, the 911 dispatch for Tompkins County had gotten a call from someone who had claimed to be in one of the buildings. The person telling the emergency center that they had an automatic weapon and that explosives had been placed in multiple buildings around campus. The dispatch center immediately notified the university's police department. While investigating, Cornell University police issued multiple notifications, including a shelter-in-place order and evacuation order for several buildings, including the law school and the arts quad. Cornell University and several other universities experienced similar hoaxes on the day. Cornell University is saying that they would like to work closely with investigators as they determine if there is a link between these incidences. Well, we saw our first snowflakes of the season last week, and a reminder to make sure you have a snowplow service for the season. And that could be a struggle this year, as local plow companies say they're dealing with a serious shortage of drivers. WNY News Now's Molly Samora explains.
We are pretty much at 90%, but we are taking a few, so I definitely don't wait any longer.
Boomso Landscaping tells me their spots are filling up fast for this winter season. Misty Burgess is the director of operations and says not to wait until the day it snows to find a plow.
Then you're really taking a chance that you may not get anybody.
While they wish they could help clear everyone's driveway this season,
at our labor force, and that's something else that everybody needs to take into consideration. The labor shortage is a real thing, and it's affecting every industry. And we may have, 20 trucks, but we may not have 20 drivers at any given snowfall.
She informs me they're not only facing that labor shortage, but the increase in gas prices at the pump.
Gas prices are astronomical. I mean, we just talked to some guys this morning reminding us that it's sometimes $150, $200 to fill up just one tank of gas with one of our bigger trucks. So we're really factoring that in for this winter.
So when you do book a plow this winter, you may see an increase in your bill.
Unfortunately, because that's an expense that's real, that we have, and we have to factor into all the work we do.
Molly Samora, WNY News Now.
Molly, thank you. Watching that snow, Dakota, that's some tough stuff, but I know it'll be here, unfortunately, sooner than later. Let us know what you guys think about these stories and more in the comment section down below. We thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live and on channel 716 on your Roku device. If you aren't streaming us yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Just search channel 716 in the App Store today. Good to see Christine, Ron, Martin, Stephen, Tori, Gary, and Kayla. Hopefully you all are having a great day. Great to see Sherry and Seth as well. I know for me, I'm lucky that I actually get my driveway plowed as part of my lease, but nevertheless, I mean, you're out there shoveling, and it's sooner than later, I know we'll be in that mode. And that's kind of like that $1 million question, Dakota, is everyone wants to know when the first significant snowfall will be. And driving home late last week on election night, when we had kind of that snow that fell, that lake effect snow, I was thinking to myself, could this be it? Could this not be it? But then you have days like today where it's like, hey, what is going on, Mother Nature?
Well, pardon me. Well, the thing about the driveways is, shoveling is, I don't know. I think it's Amish, and I do think everybody needs to have at least a snow blower.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it any better when you have a shared driveway and nobody else wants to shovel.
Ooh. Should we go to Dakota's house, do a call for action story? Are you guys the only ones who shovel? Yeah. It's got to be tough.
I've already said enough.
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble because I'm sure they know who they are.
I'm sure my neighbors watch us, so I've just got myself in trouble.
Be a good human. So. This is my message. I got to defend my friend. Be a good human. If you can, and you see it out there and it's just shovel it. I mean, how bad is it?
Well, you see, most of the people...
Your driveway's not very long either compared to, some of these rural places where it's, a good stretch.
Well, most everybody just plows through it and just makes a complete mess.
Yeah.
So...
I used it in my old car. I could plow, if it was heavy snow, I could kind of push it out of the way in the car, but now I'm on 4-wheel drive, so it...
You don't have to worry about it anymore.
I just go. I'll just
jump
go.
right through it. You're fine.
Good to see Cindy. Great to see Terry as well. Hopefully you all are having a good one out there. And I appreciate you tuning in. And one other thing real quick. I wanted to mention before we got to your weather is just the leaves. And I know you were discussing that a little bit over the weekend with our main man, Sean, who got a chance to go out to Letchworth. I know that's a little bit out of our area, but it's beautiful shots that are coming in.
Yes, and I mean, I've never been to Letchworth myself personally. It's on the list to get over to Livingston County.
I mean, that's beautiful.
Yes,
Look at that.
to get over there. But, Sean Sweatman, who pilots the Storm Interceptor, got out there this weekend. And again, something we've been talking about all fall season is that the colors this year have been muted and are slow because of the warm October that we had. So the colors are really not as vibrant as they should be. And this, I personally think, is my favorite. This is a waterfall over the Genesee River, and personally, I'm a fan of waterfalls, so I'm a little biased towards this picture. This is personally my favorite, but here's another picture. I'm going to test everybody's smarts. Does everybody know what dam this is? Justin?
Gosh, I don't know.
This dam
wish I
is
did.
actually the Mount Morris Dam that sits on top of the Genesee River.
All right.
And this dam, actually, come to think of it, a little lesson for you, this dam was actually installed to actually keep the city of Rochester from flooding. Because in the 1800s, there was a lot of records back in the 1800s of major flooding in and around the city of Rochester. So the dam was installed near Letchworth on the Genesee River to help alleviate the flooding.
Much like Kinzu is for Warren.
Yes,
same type of
exactly.
thing. Oh, that's
exactly.
cool.
So that's basically almost like the Kinzu Dam for Warren. The Mount Morris Dam is technically for Rochester to keep the Genesee River from flooding into the city of Rochester and parts of Monroe County. So there you go. 60 right now is a noon hour here in town, and with a southwest wind at 10, that southwest wind is always your best friend to warm you up. And take a look at this. We have a high pressure ridge set up across the northeast, so high pressure means great weather. And notice not really a cloud showing up on the satellite imagery though, but we are going to see at least a few more clouds coming in for tomorrow and maybe a spot shower. So let's show that to you on the newest run of Future Scan. The time is moving, but the weather ain't changing for today. A great deal of sunshine. Tonight will start mainly clear, then we'll see a few clouds coming in overnight, so it will turn clear to partly cloudy overnight. Tomorrow we'll see more clouds in the sky, so we're going mostly cloudy for the day tomorrow, but notice the model here starting to pop up a few of these little isolated showers, so there will be a chance for a spot shower. We put the rain chance at 20% in area, but again, you may see a spot shower through the day tomorrow, but it should be mainly dry, and then by the time we go into Thursday, it will turn much drier, or on Wednesday, it'll turn much drier again. Now this is the upper air pattern, the 500 millibar level. This is that portion of the atmosphere when the weather starts to follow the wind pattern, and this is going into the weekend. Notice this big dip right here. This is called a trough, and a trough is basically just a negative tilt in the atmosphere that's bringing in much cooler air from Canada, and this goes into the second half of the weekend and into early next week. I do think the weather is going to change drastically by the time we go to the second half of the weekend and into early next week. It's going to be radically different at this time on Sunday and on Monday. So enjoy it while we've got it. Lower 60s today. Anybody a fan of the Jeffersons? Well, moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Here come the next 7 days of your life right now. 57 tomorrow, a spot shower, mostly sunny Wednesday. Veterans Day looking nice. Showers return Friday through the weekend. And again, on Sunday, there could be a rain or snow mix. And we do think early next week, temperatures may go even colder than that. Take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep? Or a flood? Or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, You'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Well, having gifts to open on Christmas morning is synonymous with the holiday season for many kids across the world and in Chautauqua County. A group dedicated to helping families keep that tradition alive is getting ready for the holidays. Our Bronson Rasmussen is checking in where their charitable efforts stand.
Chautauqua County's Toys for Tots campaign is now well underway after the group held one of their first fundraisers of the season over the weekend. As coordinator Patrick Smeraldo explains, this is just the beginning for his group in their mission to make a memorable Christmas for local children, with his group helping to put on this year's holiday parade.
To be able to do a community event like the parade and have the people of not only Jamestown but Chautauqua County show out for us, I mean, it's beyond heartwarming.
During the parade weekend, several opportunities to collect Toys for Tots will take place, with the main collection happening during the parade itself on Saturday, December 4th at 6 p.m. At last year's holiday event, Smeraldo collected 15 barrels of toys.
It's the opening of the holiday season. You know, I enjoy the holidays. A 10-year-old, when haven't they been looking forward to this? You know, you have to do these things. I mean, they're children.
In addition to the 75 Toys for Tots donation boxes spread around the county, a bear toss event happened at the Northwest Arena Friday. Smeraldo says there is always a big push to collect toys for older children, but plush animals are great for all children.
Stuffed animals are very comforting to kids too. So not only is it a toy, but it's, it can be used as a source of, to deal with trauma or something like that.
He tells us that this year in particular, it is very important to receive physical donations instead of monetary.
We've been warned by the Marine Corps about shipping issues this year. Everybody's having trouble with shipping, and they're telling us right now, listen, you better don't expect anything. November 15th, you better have your ordering done.
Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. Yeah, it's so exciting to hear the great news that we had on Friday that the parade is finalized, it's coming back. And when you look at now the partnership that I think is being formed in the community between the parade, which they've already been doing, but now almost, if anything, more set in stone to say, hey, we're going to give back to these kids in this way of Toys for Tots. I think it's absolutely incredible. I just want to thank Patrick for chatting with us and sharing this, because it's so important for so many people. And you look at it, something as simple as that teddy bear toss, where they're able to raise these toys, physical toys, not just money. Like he's like, I appreciate that, but the physical toys is great, because you're making a difference with that decision to purchase a toy for somebody in our community. It's really making a difference, and we're going to talk to Patrick much more, as the holiday season approaches, kind of checking in, seeing where things are, and I'm blown away by the work. It really is incredible, because you look at some of the kids that they serve without the Toys for Tots. In many cases, they might not have a Christmas. So they're really saving their holiday.
I think I mentioned, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, that, I got Toys for Tots when I was a kid. And and I was very fortunate that my family, in a way, gave up stuff just so I could have a Christmas. And if it wasn't for Toys for Tots, then maybe I wouldn't have had some of the great stuff I had. I think I had a Monopoly game one year. I think that was gifted
and
to
it
me.
sets
from Toys
you
for
off.
Tots, so.
And this is one of the things that I myself, after hearing from Mr. Smeraldo this morning, one of the things I want to focus on with him, so kind of, I guess, to be continued, is how this will impact the kids. Building that and making it go forward into the future. These types of experiences, it really is incredible because you can set them off for the rest of their life by reinforcing some of these positive things. So I think it's really great. That is it for us today. News 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Have a great day.